DRF, validate nested serializer data when creating, but not when updating. When using writable nested serializers in DRF, there is the known problem with validating eventual unique fields and preventing the updating of the parent serializer. This issue has been asked many times in questions like these. Unique validation on nested serializer on django-rest-framework. Django-rest-framework not creating object with fk to a model with unique equals true field. For simplicity, let's take the example from the first question. Now the problem is that the uniqueness validation is dropped out also for creating. This could be intercepted in the view, for example. However, this doesn't feel really right because we're validating the uniqueness of genre in bookviewset. The other option is to implement the validation in the create method of book serializer as explained in the second question, see list above. What I really miss in both solutions is that the validation error is not attached to the field name of the model genre and the user input in the form is lost. What I'd like is to add the validation error for genre.name to the existing validation errors, keep the user input and do this only for creating, not for updating. My ideas were something like this. Is this possible, or is there any other way to achieve the before-mentioned goal? Keep user input and add validation error attached to the field name to the list of existing validation errors when creating new instance?
What I really miss in both solutions is that the validation error is not attached to the field name of the model genre and the user input in the form is lost. This is straightforward.
This is how I did it. In this way, the validation is triggered only when a new genre object is created, post, not when it is updated, put. When a new book object is created, the validation for genre is propagated to the nested serializer. All form inputs are preserved after validation and the error message is attached to the field name. That actually fulfills all my criteria. Although I don't have the feeling that this is the right way of doing it. I'd still like to know how could I call manually the unique validator in validate_name instead of reinventing that validation. Edit. I found out a way how to call the unique validator in the method. Edit, September 9, 2022. Instead of self.context request ._request.method, it's much simpler and cleaner to use self.context request.method. Tried and tested with django-rest-framework 3.13.
In addition to Cesar's answer, I was wondering how to not just override based on a condition, but to completely override and ignore any of the fields. It might be possible to skip children's serializer validation, or write custom serializer validation to override child serializers, by overriding to _internal_ value of the parent serializer.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.